Okay, the next type of cohesion we're going to be talking about is emotional cohesion. This has to do with the extent to which your group energizes you emotionally. It really feels good. You really feel uh, the energy that comes from it. So it's a sense of morale, uh, esprit de corps. So if you look at this group of people here, they're really energized here, being fans of a particular team. Uh, so yeah, being in a particular group where you get that sense of emotional high from being in that group, and that is essentially one way in which cohesion can be expressed. So that emotional energy that you get from being together is the kind of cohesion that you've developed. Finally, another way to look at cohesion is in terms of how the group is structured. Okay, for example, if you have a group that's like isolated, where the members of the group are together and they're like apart from everybody else, and that you join and you become a member of that group, and they don't really let new people in, or very rarely let new people in, then you're actually going to have a cohesive group based on the structure of the group. That it doesn't allow for new members to come in and members to leave. If there's a lot of turnover, then it's less likely to be, there's less likely to be cohesion there. Think about it like, for example, working in a fast food restaurant. Um, there's a lot of turnover in those businesses, so therefore there may not be a whole lot of structural cohesion because you're not exactly sure how long you're going to stay and how long your coworkers are going to stay. So they keep new people coming in, people leaving, so that plays a role. So the open groups are going to be less cohesive than the closed groups, where they're going to have a group of people that are going to be staying together for an extended period of time. Not many new members coming in, so there's not going to be much change in terms of how the group is structured. That's an example of structural cohesion. Research done by Sharif on some groups of boys in terms of how they develop relationships. He discovered that the structure of the attraction relationships could be drawn out, and when you draw it out, you can see which group tends to be more cohesive. The bulldogs, in this case, represent a more cohesive group. There are much more of those reciprocated back and forth relationships rather than one-way relationships. Where L likes C, but that's it. That doesn't go back from C to L. But the reciprocated relationships, the more of these, then there's going to be more of a cohesiveness there. Over here, with the Red Devils, there's not too much in terms of reciprocated relationships here. Everything's kind of one way here. You even have here, you have a little subgroup here. So the Red Devils here are a much less cohesive group than the Bulldogs. And it can be reflected in terms of the structure of the relationships, the directions of the relationships, and so on. So this is an example where structure can play a role in how cohesive a group can be. So to sum up the different kinds of sources of cohesion, you can have social cohesion, which represents simply attraction that the members have to each other or to the group itself. You have the task cohesion, where the group is committed toward a particular goal that the group has. Maybe they're a team that they want to win. Collective cohesion represents a sense that your group is one, that is a unit. You have a sense of a we-ness rather than just a bunch of I's and me's. Emotional cohesion has to do with the emotional intensity, the energy that you get from being within this group. And finally, structural cohesion has to do with how the group is built. What are the norms? What are the roles? the leadership structure, that kind of thing. All of those can play a role in terms of how cohesive the group is.